The heat has been just awful for so many of us, and it looks like that trend could continue into July. The weather company has put together their outlook for the next few months. Notice that large area of red. Not good if you don't like the heat. Now, moving into August, you see the orange, and that's where it'll likely be above average. We also notice that blue around Phoenix. That's nice to see. In fact, in July, you had a darker blue there. Moving into September, looks like the heat is on again. We'll find that red zone across the central U.S. and lots of areas in orange, so many places likely above average. Putting it all together, here's a look at July, August, September. Overall, the trend is for above average temperatures. But keep in mind that individual days are going to vary, and they may vary widely. Swaths of northern India and Bangladesh have been submerged in floods triggered by monsoon rains. Millions of houses have been swamped and millions of people have been marooned. More than a dozen people have been killed. Water in all the major rivers in the region is above danger levels. Authorities are struggling to deliver food and water to hundreds of thousands of people who have been evacuated. Many people are staying in relief camps. Monsoon floods are typical and often beneficial to agriculture. But extreme flooding in bad years can be devastating. This time, parts of northeastern India had more than 38 inches of rain in 24 hours. Scientists say the flooding has been worsened by
We certainly have seen some very hot temperatures, really from the eastern slopes of the Rockies out to the Atlantic and from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast. Talking about your Tuesday forecast, temperatures dropping into the upper 70s for a lot of the eastern United States overnight. So you can see it stays quite warm here. By Wednesday afternoon, we are pushing the 100-degree mark again. Forecast high temperature in Nashville Wednesday, 194 on Thursday as a cold front rolls through. No such luck in Dallas. It goes from 99 to 101. The dew points, that's the good news. They're going to be a little bit drier until we get into about Thursday. So enjoy it right now across the deep south, but conditions will be improving for you in St. Louis and Nashville and Cleveland and even up to the Great Lakes as a cold front drops your dew point temperatures. So your heat index drops to 91 in St. Louis on Thursday. Temperatures will be much above average from the Tennessee Valley down to the Gulf Coast and also across parts of the West. Below average temperatures expected for parts of the Southwest, the Four Corners, and up into the Great Lakes. Near average temperatures expected for much to the Northeast. A couple of cold fronts will mean a chance of severe thunderstorms starting in the Plain States and then heading into the eastern United States Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday along the cold front, not really Virginia, West Virginia, and Ohio. So we're timing it out for you. Tuesday of Michigan back into Kansas. You'll see sort of a broken squall line pushing eastward. Again, main threat here is going to be gusty winds. There might be a little bit of hail, but the chance of tornadoes less than 2%. Then that goes up to 2% early Wednesday, again into northern Virginia. And then by the time we get to Thursday morning, you'll see some rain stretching from Albany down to New York City. So places like Philadelphia and D.C., quarter inch in Charleston, West Virginia, but State College in New York City could pick up as much as 1 inch.
So this is the general precipitation outlook for the next 6 to 10 days across the nation. You notice in the southwest, it's forecast to be way wetter than average. There's a little bit of an early start to the monsoon season in the southwest, and the general idea is we're going to have a lot of on and off showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. So if you just move down to the area from somewhere else in the country, the basic deal with the monsoon is you get these on and off showers and thunderstorms, not a huge amount of coverage as far as the rain goes, but the storms that do pop up drop some really, really heavy rain. So you're seeing numbers here in the precip forecast, half an inch to an inch, but it could easily be over 2 inches in here, especially in New Mexico. And although in the long run, this rain will tend to help the drought, it's pretty tough to get through a drought and fix it without dealing with some flooding first, because the ground is really hard and it can't really take some rain initially. Crews are making progress on a wildfire burning in New Jersey that officials warned could become the state's largest in 15 years. The fire broke out Sunday in the Wharton State Forest area. That's a little bit northwest of Atlantic City, and by Tuesday morning it had run through more than 21 square miles of land. The fire threatened about 18 structures but was 85% contained. Dense smoke shut down roads, and ash rained down on area neighborhoods.
That might be a tornado. Tornado.
Issues in homes without adequate cooling and in neighborhoods described as socially or materially deprived. Temperatures during the heat wave soared well above 100 degrees in places, shattering all-time heat records. It was the deadliest weather event in Canadian history.
Middle Tennessee is actually above average for yearly rainfall, but back-to-back heat waves are leading to concerns about drought conditions. This is Mary Mays joins us live with more on the abnormally dry conditions we're experiencing right now. Mary?
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, everything is lush and green right now, but if we don't see any rain, that's going to change. In fact, portions of Middle Tennessee could be looking at a moderate drought soon if we don't get some precipitation. Let's take a closer look at what that means for us.
There's this really persistent upper level ridge of high pressure over the southern U.S., and that's just going to keep the heat around, if not right over us, pretty close by. So not looking for any big rain chances until maybe the end of the month. So we'll have to see a really big pattern change occur before we get out of this hot, dry pattern.
The latest drought monitor shows 13.7% of the state as abnormally dry. Without substantial rain in the forecast, we may be looking at areas of moderate drought by July.
The moderate droughts, when we see prolonged dry conditions, we're really below normal on rainfall. The soil moisture is really low, and we're just experiencing severe crop issues, severe agricultural issues, or even problems with the low water supply or low water in the rivers and lakes and that kind of thing. So when we see moderate drought conditions, we're starting to get to some pretty substantial issues.
This weather pattern is also increasing fire concerns as we get closer to Independence Day.
Yeah, the main concern we have right now is July 4th is coming up and people are starting to launch fireworks out there. And since it is getting dry,